revolution. Here's the thing about Huddle though. I don't know exactly why, but he's been filming this whole time. Filming all of this. And so at this point, he turns the camera around and points it at himself. And says, "This is me," which is definitely going to incriminate him later. Anyway, a few minutes after, a bunch of police officers show up to where they are. And to get away from them, Huddle leaves the building by climbing out a window. Now, after all this chaos, nothing happens to Huddle or Uncle Dale that day. They eventually go back to Indiana. While the certification of the votes, ultimately it does resume, and the president officially loses that election, and he has to give up power. Womp womp. And so his disruption plan failed, and the mob rioting the Capitol ultimately did not get what they wanted. And also, 174 police officers were injured that day, and a few died later of causes that are said to be related to this day, but that's a whole different story. Regardless, Huddle and Uncle Dale move on, and they go back to living their lives with no consequences. Until... Here's the thing. Mobbing the Capitol to interfere with an election is not only against the law, but it's a pretty big deal. And the feds are not gonna let this slide. And so, boom, they start investigating, and they have tons of evidence to work with. Witnesses, cell phone data, the Capitol building has security cameras, not to mention a lot of people there that day were just filming the whole thing, so that's evidence too. And so, one by one, they start arresting people involved in this. And ultimately, over 1,600 people are charged for their role in what happened that day. And over a year later, the feds finally catch up to Huddle and Uncle Dale. And of course, they've got all of Huddle's footage he took to use as evidence. And so, bam, they arrest them. Here's Huddle's mugshot. And I couldn't find a mugshot of Uncle Dale, but here's